Mayor Bowser, I'm really not trying to disrespect you, but how much has crime decreased?
Oh,
I
mentioned already and let me look
Sure.
at my numbers, that the federal surge produced a 39% decrease in violent crime.
39% decrease in violent crime
that's on
in
top,
the nation's capital.
Let me just add, that's on top of the 26% decrease that we were already experiencing.
So it seems that the president's surge was more effective than your own efforts. What did you say?
But the full statistic is a little different.
Chairman Mendelson, I didn't ask you a question.
I know,
Relax,
but the full statistic is a little different.
Actually, Chairman, let me ask you this question.
Sure.
You butted in, now let me ask you.
Sure.
What is the current status of the Metropolitan Police Department in terms of staffing? How many officers do you have on the beat?
I believe it's less than 3,100.
Okay. Is the MPD fully staffed?
In my view, no.
So is a surge of federal law enforcement into the federal enclave, which the mayor has acknowledged is the primary responsibility of the federal government, isn't it simple logic to say that the president's surge has been helpful to safety and security in the District of Columbia, Chairman? Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This has been a very interesting hearing for a myriad of reasons. Mayor Bowser, thanks for being here with us. I do appreciate you taking the time today. It was said earlier that in 1973, Congress did pass the DC Home Rule Act. It is known on Capitol Hill, is known quite frankly through our entire constitutional republic, that any Congress cannot bind a future Congress. Just like at the state level, a legislature cannot bind a future legislature. That something that is enacted can be modified or undone in the future. I was able to have a conversation with a lot of the people from the Free DC organization. Some of them might still be in the room today. And that was the constant point that we came back to. That yes, under the law passed in 1973, your position was created, the DC City Council's position was created, but the ultimate authority for the federal district is still the United States Congress, and with the signature of the President of the United States. Would you agree with that assessment?
I would agree. And I would also add it's within the power of this Congress to advance the DC statehood bill. By simple majority, this Congress can, like it has done for every state in the union outside of the first 13, admit DC as a state.
I'm glad you actually brought that up, because one of the reasons why I opposed the DC statehood bill is because the Constitution and the framers were actually quite clear that they did not want the federal district per se to be leveraged by a state or any state. And I think I had conversations with several residents of DC who were walking through the halls of Capitol Hill when then Speaker Pelosi was bringing that up. And I asked them two very important questions. If you want to have representation, why don't we allow that property to be re-annexed by the state of Maryland, which actually provided the land for the federal district to be created? Or would the citizens of the District of Columbia prefer not to be subject to federal income taxes as a result of them not having, quote unquote, representation? What's your thought on that?
I do think it's time to talk about what the district pays and what we get back. I do think it's time to have that conversation.
And that's a fair conversation to have. I got a couple questions for you. Let's get to the business of the matter. Since President Trump authorized the National Guard to be in D.C., how much has crime decreased in the District of Columbia?
I think it's important, and I've noticed that this has happened throughout this conversation, that you talk about the National Guard and you don't talk about federal law enforcement. And the federal surge consisted of federal law enforcement, which MPD works with all the time. I'm talking about the FBI, the DEA.
Mayor Bowser, I'm really not trying to disrespect you, but how much has crime decreased?
Oh,
I
mentioned already and let me look
Sure.
at my numbers, that the federal surge produced a 39% decrease in violent crime.
39% decrease in violent crime
that's on
in the nation's capital.
Let me just add, that's on top of the 26% decrease that we were already experiencing.
So it seems that the president's surge was more effective than your own efforts. What did you say?
It accelerated.
Last time I checked, 39% is way higher than 26%. But let me move on.
But the full statistic is a little different.
Chairman Mendelson, I didn't ask you a question.
I know,
Relax,
but the full statistic is a little different.
Actually, Chairman, let me ask you this question, because you butted in, now let me ask you.
Sure.
What is the current status of the Metropolitan Police Department in terms of staffing? How many officers do you have on the beat?
I believe it's less than 3,100.
Okay. Is the MPD fully staffed?
In my view, no.
Question. Hold that point. Here's the question. So is a surge of federal law enforcement into the federal enclave, which the mayor has acknowledged is the primary responsibility of the federal government, isn't it simple logic to say that the president's surge has been helpful to safety and security in the District of Columbia, Chairman?
The additional law enforcement resources has been good. We work with those different agencies all the time. There was more of it, more of a good thing. National Guard is separate, ICE is separate.
Question for you, Chairman. You just said you said something I want to expound. You've been working with the federal government during this surge
And before.
that was brought by President Trump and before.
And before.
So you've been working with him through this entire time.
With the federal, like DEA, FBI,
Okay.
MPS Park Police.
Mayor
yes.
Bowser, you would concur that you guys have been working with the President of the United States throughout this entire period, correct?
Mr. Donalds, you know I work with every president.
I know, but
including
I'm
President
trying to
Trump,
establish a
in
baseline.
Trump 1 and in Trump 2.
And I thank you for that, Mayor
Yes,
Bowser.
that
I'm
is our
I'm
job.
trying to
As
establish.
do all of we all stand ready to work with. We're unique. The District of Columbia is unique in
Mayor
that
Bowser,
we're always going to have
Mayor
a
Bowser, I'm out of
relationship
time, so I got to
with-
reclaim.
Sorry,
I
sorry.
apologize.
Yep.
I agree, Mayor Bowser.
Yes.
The district is unique. The district is not like any other city in the United States. It is the federal enclave. I commend you and your team for working with the President of the United States to keep the district safe. I really do. I think it's important for a lot of people who are saying that they're upset with the president, that your own mayor and your own chairman of the city council has acknowledged that crime has gone down while working with the president. Let's work together. Let's give peace a chance. I yield back.
Mr. Chair,
Thank you, Mr. Donald. Mr. Min, I'll recognize you now for your.
I ask unanimous consent to introduce into the record an article from the USA Today entitled DC National Guard Deployment to Cost $200 million, as soldiers pick up trash, blow leaves.
Without objection to order.
Mr. Chairman, I actually have a point of personal privilege.
Yes, state your point.
It was raised earlier in an article about me, so let's just get to it.
I thought we did this already.
No, well, we're doing it again because your name was not raised, so now we get to do it twice. Thank you.
No,
He's being recognized for a point of privilege.
It's a point of
Okay,
personal
well,
privilege.
we gonna need
Thank
one
you very
too.
much. I don't think it's really personal for you, madam. Let's be clear about a couple of things. Yes, when I was 18 and 20, I was arrested twice. I made a lot of mistakes when I was young. I've admitted them. I've had to live with them my entire life. Every day since the age of 21, I've had to purpose myself to be a better man than I was the day before. That is something that was afforded to me by the laws of the state of Florida. And I'm grateful for that opportunity. And now I'm here in the nation's capital doing my job. In Florida, when I got into my trouble, I was not tried as a juvenile. I was tried as an adult because I was an adult. And since that point in time, I have worked, whether it's at the state level or here at the federal level, to make sure that our criminal justice policies and systems actually make sense, and they are built to secure and protect the citizens that we all serve. That's a mission I've been on ever since.
Will the gentleman
I was 21.
yield?
I'm not going to yield because it's a personal point of privilege. It's not for you.
I just
Thank
wanted
you.
to clarify something.
So I'm just, for the record, I wanted to make that point be clear. Yes, I'm the author of the DC Crimes Act. Yes, I believe that adults over the age of 18
Mr.
should be
Chairman,
held
this
accountable
is not
as
a
adults.
campaign ad
And so
for the gentleman's governorship.
this is not a campaign ad. I'm stating it for the record because it was raised by the gentle lady. I'm sorry I didn't catch your name. I know you're a freshman member of the House, and I have never had a chance to meet you, but it was raised, so I wanted to provide a response because my name was brought up in an article submitted for the record. I think
Point
I'm
of
done now.
information.
I yield.
Point of
Yes,
information.
state your point.
The gentleman from Florida just referenced the bill that he authored, and I just want to clarify, is the chair aware as to whether or not under current DC law, it allows the Attorney General,
That's not a point of information.
okay, well, it's a question.
Well,
Point of inquiry.
I mean,
We gonna do an
we can
inquiry.
talk about it later.
We'll do an inquiry. I am trying to clarify.
It's not a parliamentary inquiry.